Wltoys are releasing lots of new RC products at the moment, and today we're going to take a closer look at one of their new 1/18 scale buggies. This is the 184011. I'm very excited to get this thing unboxed and to give it a go, so let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a closer look at the brand new 1/18 scale buggy by Wltoys. Now this is known as the 184011, and unfortunately no, they haven't started to name their cars yet, which is a little bit annoying for a lot of us because we would prefer an actual name instead of a load of numbers, because that does start to get confusing. But even so, Wltoys are great, we know their products and we know they're really good, so I'm really excited to actually test this one out today. What this essentially is a cheaper, more mild version of the very popular A959. It's also going to be slower as well. It does have a smaller motor, and it does make you wonder, why would you actually want one of these when you've got the A59 and the 144001, which only cost a little bit more than this? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. So you know how it works, guys. We'll find out what we get in the box, we'll take a closer look at the buggy itself, and then we'll get it out and see how it performs. Before we do that, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest RC content. I've got loads of stuff coming up on the channel and you're not going to want to miss out. Right, that's enough talking. Let's get it unboxed and find out what we get. In the box, it's pretty much exactly what we get with all the Wltoys models. We've got a USB charger with a power output of 2000 milliamps an hour. We've got a tiny little screwdriver, a 900 milliamp hour lithium ion battery pack, a basic black and white manual, good enough to get you up and running, and we've got the M2R Racing Wltoys special transmitter, and we've seen this loads of times. They include this with all their models. Some people have reported range issues. All the transmitters I've tried from Wltoys, I've never really had any major problems. The nice thing about these is you've got your throttle control there, your throttle dual rate. You can turn your speed up and down, which is ideal for a beginner. And here it is then. This is the Wltoys 184011, and initial impressions, I don't think it looks that bad, to be fair. I'm a fan of the colour scheme, the body looks quite nice. I can't say I'm a massive fan of the wheels on this, but overall, not a bad looking buggy. So this is a 1/18 scale buggy, it is 4-wheel drive, and they say this will reach speeds of about 30 kilometers per hour, which we're going to test out later on in the video. Just to give you a quick size comparison, this is the 184001, that is a 1/10 scale buggy. This is the 124019, and that's a 1/12 scale buggy. And then finally the 184011 being 1/18 scale. Taking a closer look at the buggy itself, you can see that there are hardly any metal components on this, apart from the actual motor and the springs on the shocks. And talking about the shocks, they really don't feel that great. They are friction shocks, they're not oil filled, and this thing is very bouncy. We have also got a plastic chassis and a plastic centre drive shaft. Electronics wise on this, we've got a 390 brushed motor with a heatsink, we've got a micro servo with a servo saver, and we've got a 60 amp brushed ESC. The servo is a 5-wire servo, and we see that all the time on these cheap ready to runs, and that can become a pain when upgrading. When it comes to the wheels and tyres on this, we have got a nice soft rubber compound, and they should do absolutely fine on the dirt. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the wheels on this, and I think they are actually similar, or they may even be the same as the A959. So the one good thing about this thing being all plastic is it is going to be quite durable. As we know, plastic does flex compared to metal, which does bend. So this does seem like a very good option for a beginner. We've had a closer look at what we get in the box. We've also had a closer look at the buggy itself, and it doesn't look too bad considering how much this actually costs. There's only one thing left to do. We'll get the battery charged up, we'll head out, and we'll see how it performs. First thing we're going to do is a quick speed test. We'll find out just how fast the 184011 is. Now, it's not the first time we've seen Wltoys and some other companies as well print a speed on the box, and then when we actually speed test the car, it never reaches that speed. And I've got a feeling that is going to happen today. I really don't think this is going to hit 30 kilometers per hour, but let's test it out. I really don't think we're going to hit 30 kilometers per hour with this. And the odd thing is, even though I have trimmed the steering out, still pulling to the side a little bit. And then once you trim it back the other way, it does the complete opposite. Steering wise, it just doesn't feel as tight and as precise as some of the other cars I've driven from the guys at Wltoys. Right, let's find out what we got. So we managed to achieve a speed of 16 miles per hour. So 16 miles per hour is about 25 kilometers per hour. So it is about 5 kilometers per hour short of the claimed speed. But like I said, before we did the speed test, it's not the first time we've seen this happen. So a little bit disappointing when it comes to speed then. Now, another thing that I noticed was when you're pulling on the trigger, there is a slight delay before the power actually kicks in, and I'm going to try and demonstrate that now. So as you see there is a slight delay when you hit the throttle, and it's definitely noticeable, especially, you know, considering I've driven so many RC cars over the years. But if you're an absolute beginner, I don't think it's something that you're really going to be bothered by. Right then, so let's do a quick grass test. This is a tiny little buggy, and the grass is sort of medium to short in length at the moment, and it does handle it absolutely fine. I can't see this handling long grass at all, because it just hasn't got the ground clearance to do that. Really not a fan of the steering on this. It just feels, I don't know, it just doesn't feel very precise compared to some of the other models I've tried from Wltoys. I've never really had an issue with the steering on any of the Wltoys models before, but this just feels a little bit sluggish. It just feels as if it's all over the place, and I'm really not a fan of the steering on this. Guys, you may have already guessed, but I'm really struggling to find things that I like about this little buggy, which is a shame because I do have a lot of time for Wltoys. They have produced some really, really good affordable models, but I'm just struggling to see why we even needed this when we've already got the A959, which is built a little bit better. It's got better components. We've also got the 144001, and as we know, the 144001 is one of the very best beginner-friendly RC models you can buy, especially if you're considering getting into the hobby properly. That is, you know, sort of more hobby grade compared to something like this, and that is always going to be the buggy that I recommend to most people. Now, I'm not saying this is terrible, because it's not. It's just not up to the 144001 standard, and you know, there are some other models out there which do come in at around the same sort of price as this, and again, they are going to be the better option. The 144001 is a tough model to beat because it remains to be one of the very best beginner-friendly RC models you can buy. You know, and something like this, I would really find it hard to recommend one of these because it's just not built as good as the 144001. It doesn't perform anywhere close. And that is a shame really, because this is the first time I've actually said quite a few negative things about a Wltoys buggy. But I really can't see why we needed this when we've already got the A959 and the 144001. So I've said nothing but negative things about this buggy today. Surely there has to be a reason to buy one of these. Well, guys, I'm really struggling to find a valid reason apart from it would maybe be a good option to, you know, give to a child. I would never recommend something like this to an adult because it just feels too much like a child's toy. It is primarily plastic, it's not very quick, the steering's all over the place, the shocks are bouncy. I really am struggling to find any good points in this, apart from its cheap price. Price-wise, this only cost me £39, delivered to me here in the UK. I think that's about $52 at the moment, and I think that's what it's selling for on Banggood. Now, when you think for £39, $52, what can you really buy for that price? If you go into a normal toy shop, I highly doubt you're going to get anything like this for that price. There we go then, guys. Now, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed with the performance of this little buggy. I've only ever said good things about Wltoys, but this has disappointed me today. I know there are some of you out there who are probably going to say or be thinking, because this wasn't given to me for free, that is why I am finding so many negative things with it. Well, that's really not the case, because even cars that have been provided to me for free on the channel, I almost always find something that I don't like, and I always include that in the video. So we know the steering's all over the place, it's got very bouncy shocks, and it just doesn't perform very well. It also doesn't achieve the claimed speed that they state on the box, which was 30 kilometers per hour. It only managed to achieve 25, which still isn't very bad considering the size of this little buggy. Now, would I recommend one of these? Well, I don't think I would, not for an adult at least. If you're looking for a cheap RC buggy to get a kid into the hobby, this may be a good option for you, but I do think for a little bit more money, you may be better off going for the 144001, which is also going to be a lot easier to upgrade, and it does perform 10 times better than this. If you've got one of these, you may disagree with me completely, and that is absolutely fine. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of it, because I'm really not a fan, and it's a shame because I really do enjoy Wltoys models, but this one is just not for me. So guys, we're going to leave the video there today. I really hope you enjoyed seeing the 184011 in action. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think of it. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. A little bit disappointing today, guys, but it is what it is.